It's the Phoenix IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader weekend, and we have the fortunate opportunity of racing in both of them. Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. I hope you all having a great day today. We are here in Arizona from Phoenix Raceway, where we are about to tackle a challenge that not many people get to do, and that's getting to race in an IndyCar and a NASCAR Cup Series car on the same weekend and at the same track. Now, and we were on the track here Friday. Of course, everything was kind of changed around a little bit now, but we had practice on Friday for the Cup Series IndyCar qualifying on Friday as well, with NASCAR Cup Series qualifying being on Saturday, and then the IndyCar race being on Saturday, where we have been able to link up through collaboration from Junior Motorsports, of course, our new team here this season, and McLaren and IndyCar. We will be behind the wheel of an extra McLaren car this weekend in Phoenix now, but I mean, focusing on the Cup Series activities first. This is, of course, our career and where we really got to show up and be good, and Phoenix is not an easy racetrack. This is going to be a difficult race for us. I think this is going to be the biggest challenge we've had to kick off the first few races this season. Of course, we're coming off of a bit of a disappointing effort in COTA last episode. Definitely expected more from myself at the road course, but just didn't quite work out. Of course, had a couple of track limit penalties in the final stage that really set us behind. As Denny Hamlin actually tops the board here in practice now, and well, unfortunately, one of the three drivers to lose a championship here in the Final Four last time we came here at the end of the last season. As we come through now into Friday later in the afternoon, and now we are behind the wheel of the Aero McLaren IndyCar for 2 laps of qualifying, and I really didn't have an expectation, but one of my teammates, Pato O'Ward, actually on pole position, and my first lap I would go P21, so not ideal, but I knew I could find some more time in it, so really pushing here to make things happen now, and just trying to get acclimated throughout this weekend with the IndyCar. And as we head down into turn 3, a bit of a slide right there, but no big deal. We get the power down on exit, and to the line, we actually would end up in 18th, as O'Ward was on pole over Alex Palou, Rossi, Rasmussen, and Dennis Hauger up there, but we have certainly got some work to do to go forward. But before we even get to sit in the IndyCar again and race, we got to qualify now early Saturday in the Cup car. 1 lap, that's all we get now, and we qualified 18th in the IndyCar. Can we do better, or will we do worse in the Cup car? And I was not fully confident in the speed of this Domino's Pizza Chevrolet here, in this number 15 Chevrolet this weekend, so I was a little bit concerned I was going to do worse than what I just did in the IndyCar. Also to mention, if we finish in the top 26 here this weekend, we will get a new sponsor as well as we come through to the line. Actually, we go 20th, so we did do worse, unfortunately, somehow, than we did in the IndyCar, which we have no experience in. As Ryan Blaney goes pole over Byron Bell, Hamlin, Elliott, your top 5. Elliott, last time we came here, picked up his first and only win of the season in the season finale, which was the most clutch performance ever to get him his second Cup Series championship. You see the rest there of the order, but now it's time to go IndyCar racing now from 18th place on the grid here Saturday afternoon now. And as we took the green flag just behind one of the legends of the sport there, Scott Dixon there for Chip Ganassi Racing, and as well one of my teammates of Christian Lundgaard in the McLaren as well, just in front now. Is I really didn't know what to expect here early on, and I was just kind of trying to take it easy and just kind of survive, and I very quickly found out where the speed was, though, is the higher you run up the track, the faster you're going to be, but you're probably going to wear your tires out a little bit quicker, so I had to be careful of that now, as you got Scott McLaughlin on the left side there of Dixon on the run into turn number 1, just trying to leave plenty of room. I was trying to be really nice to the IndyCar drivers, because I'm like a guest coming into their series here now, as we're going to get past Louis Foster here, Marcus Armstrong as well, and continue to actually make some good gains here in the opening laps, and we were up into the top 15 here, coming through now, just passing Felix Rosenqvist, and you got Graham Rahal there just in front of us now as well, and we were passing him, we were passing Scott Dixon around the outside. Actually, Rahal got back in front there, as you can see, but we got past Scott Dixon, and I mean, having a very competitive run right here as we continue to a few laps later at this point. Now they're going 3 wide in front of us, Newgarden and Rahal. Oh boy, we got contact. We're gonna have a yellow crash right in front of us, and we are fortunate enough to avoid it, and the caution's out. Three cars come together. Joseph Newgarden kind of ignited that one, 3 wide on the outside right here, and he just kind of comes down, and man, that unexpected. And McLaughlin as well loses the front wing, hitting the back of Scott Dixon, and that actually propelled us into P11 for a restart here with a little over 20 laps to go in this race. So as we get ready to go back green, feeling a lot more confident than I was in the first about 5 laps here. I'm like, okay, we can do this, and honestly, we might be able to sneak a top 10 here on debut in IndyCar. And one of the things we said coming up the ranks to make it to NASCAR, you know, all the way back when this career mode started, is we wanted to show what NASCAR drivers were capable of doing in other forms of motorsport. And we have already done, you know, the likes of supercars racing and dirt racing and taking the NASCAR International Series around the world. And now here we are doing an IndyCar race. It's just another step that I wanted to take. And of course, the next big leap is the Indy 500. On top of that as well, I mean, we as well might even be potentially doing a rally race at some point this season, so stay tuned on that. And as well, would love to take part in you know, a proper endurance race that's not just driving a NASCAR car, you know, maybe even a WEC race or something. But nonetheless, coming into these closing laps here from Phoenix, now we were continuing in P11, but I was starting to find a little bit more pace as I moved up the racetrack. So now as we came to 10 laps to go, running back down, Joseph Newgarden, this is for P10, Kyle Kirkwood just in front of him as well, and then up ahead of them is Santino Ferrucci in the 8th position, and we are getting pretty close to all of these guys, right to the back actually of Joseph Newgarden. Thought about showing the nose, but I knew the pace was up top, so I wanted to just kind of commit to the outside line. But out of turn 2 here, we get a huge run. I'm like, we gotta take it. So go up the inside now of the Penske driver into turn 3, and we clear him into the top 10 on debut here in IndyCar. How about it now? 5 laps to go at this point, an hour run on the back of Kirkwood. He left the door wide open. I say thank you very much. It's gonna be an easy pass. This will move us through into the 9th spot, coming to the final couple of laps of racing now. 4 laps to go, and now cutting to 3 to go. We got a nice run on the back of Santino Ferrucci. This is going to be the last spot we can race for here. We're not going to be able to get any further than this, and Ferrucci not going to make things easy, nearly clear, but you see in the mirror, he just barely able to hang on to my right rear. So we continue side by side, and he gets back in front now. 2 laps to go, and then to the final lap now, still just kind of stalking him and going for a lunge into turn 1, way up the racetrack. Now, can we keep it pinned on the exit of turn 2? It's going to be a drag race down the back straightaway. My teammate Pato O'Ward will go to victory lane as we head into turn 3. Close quarters racing with Ferrucci. We get the exit, and we're going to be on debut. An 8th place finish in IndyCar at Phoenix, and that was a blast. Thank you, everybody, for the opportunity. I hope we can do this together again. You hear myself on the radio, and, you know, like I said, that next step, Indy 500, as we now focus in on the Cup Series action here Sunday afternoon. Also, to mention, next episode, we'll be making our one of 10 starts in the O'Reilly Series next episode when we head to Las Vegas. So that's going to be an exciting one. But of course, it's time to focus in on some Cup Series action here now from the 20th starting position. Ryan Blaney leads the field to the green flag, which waves here in Phoenix. We are racing now. It's going to be a very just kind of go, go, go. Stage 1, you only got 15 laps in stage number 1, and like I said earlier in the episode, I think this is going to be the biggest challenge in the beginning part of the season for our team. I say that, I think there's going to be some mile and a halves that kind of challenge us here early in the season. I really do kind of, you know, look at the first 10 races as kind of like, we just got to get through these first 10 races, get acclimated with junior motorsports, and, you know, after that, I think we'll be able to kind of get into the, you know, normal running position where I feel like we need to be, which is top 10 consistently. We have such a variety of races in the beginning part of the season, from 2 super speedways where we were second in the Daytona 500, and then Atlanta, we were nowhere to be found at times. Circuit of the Americas was all over the place, and Phoenix is now the first normal oval of the season. And then we go to a mile and a half next episode in Vegas, and then after that we really start to normalize things, because then we go to another mile and a half of Miami, then we go to, you know, of course we'll have Darlington coming up, we'll have Martinsville, those classic NASCAR tracks, and I think we'll start to really get acclimated. And there is some tracks I am really looking forward to coming up here in the near future now, as we were passing the two of Austin Cindric, and we have the same advantage in this Junior Motorsports number 15 Domino's Chevrolet that we had at Tricon last season in the season finale, which is a great run off turn 4. Well, that's not a great run into the wall for the number 6 of Keselowski, who brings out the yellow early on here in stage 1. Obviously, we'll all stay out and get ready to go back green. It's only going to be a handful of laps before this first stage comes to a close. Already trying to, learn as much as I can about this Domino's Chevrolet as we get ready to fire back off. Ryan Blaney still in control as the green flag is back out now, and it's going to be how many laps to go? It's got to be less than 10. Oh yeah, we only got 7 laps to go here. We immediately cut down onto the apron there in the dogleg, which turned out to be the wrong move. It gave Allmendinger a run. He goes through the middle into turn number 1, and actually a bit of contact there. Did not mean to wash up the track into the side of him, but unfortunately it just kind of happened, and now he's alongside my door down the back straightaway here in towards turn 3. And last time we were here, we had some beef, of course. We got a drive-through penalty in this race for unsportsmanlike conduct, if you guys remember, in the season finale for wrecking the 77 of Carson Hocevar completely on purpose. I have no problem admitting that, as we are, a bit of a moment there with the Kubota 1 of Chastain. Did not anticipate him being as low as he was right there, but fortunately that does not turn into anything else, so we continue racing hard here. Allmendinger trying to get to my right side, and we're kind of struggling. We're just kind of stuck here right now in this, kind of 19th to 20th area, but we get such a good run off of turn 4, but everywhere else, on a good corner, we're just kind of holding even with the rest of this field here. And you can see here John Hunter's to my inside, and unfortunately I'm not going to clear him on the exit of turn 4, so he's going to be able to get by me. I'm definitely looking at making an adjustment here, kind of freeing up the car a little bit more. And I was running, I can confirm right now, I was running for the first time so far in the entirety of this career mode, I am running a complete full-blown custom setup. Now, I've been finding these custom setups on YouTube. Literally just look up NASCAR 25, what track you want, cup setup. You're going to find them on YouTube, and they work very well. Now, the setup I'm using here was from a channel called Highside Broadcasting. I will link his video in the description below if you want the setup, but highly recommend go check his setups out, because they've got some speed in them. And at this point now, we're just, we're having a time of our life here in 22nd position and trying to fight with the number 1 of Chastain. We're coming to the final lap already of stage 1. Ryan Blaney is going to lead from start to finish from the looks of it now. To the final lap we go, and I'm running up the racetrack here. This is where I felt the best in turns 1 and 2, and going to bank out of it here on the exit of the corner to make sure I'm not 3 wide with the 1. And Ryan Blaney through 3 and off of turn 4. Stage winner for the number 12 in this all-new chase format, of course, as we exit turn 4, and it's going to end up in 24th here from Phoenix now. And stage 1 didn't quite go how I wanted, so we're going to come in. We'll get some fuel, we'll get some tires, but like I said, it was definitely looking at an adjustment, and I would go a full round down from 48.0 on the wedge to 47.0. Tire pressures are already taken care of at 15 PSI, and we'll get ready to go back racing, where we actually gained 2 spots. I believe Keselowski's one of the spots we gained because he went all the way to the back, assuming some repairs on the number 6. Not sure who else went back, but nonetheless, we're back racing here. It's going to be stage number 2 underway, which should be like double the length of stage 1. Yes, it is 31 laps. So as we kick things back off on this run into turn 1, immediately dropping back down to 24th here. Into the corner we go, side by side with the 2 of Cindric, and alongside Allmendinger as well. We're going to be 3 wide on the exit of turn 2. Going to be very tight here down this back straightaway. Bit of contact right there from the 16 of Allmendinger, but we're all good now. No harm, no foul. We continue ripping the outside lane. Look at the run we get, but a little bit loose right there. That's, of course, off that adjustment we made. There's old Chris Buescher to my left side now. We had one of those beefs, of course, in the early playoffs from last season, but obviously that's all kind of settled down here, and I expect to be able to race Chris Buescher pretty clean this season, as we'll jump all the way down to the inside between the 34 and the 2 down this back straightaway now, but can't quite get alongside The 42 of John Hunter into turn 3, though, really drove it off into the corner right there, and we'll try to build up a run on the exit of the corner, and eventually we would pass that 42, and then now to the likes of Kyle Busch and Michael McDowell has actually just ran my fastest lap of the race with a 27.960 as we come to lap 5 of 31 here in stage 2, and Ryan Blaney continues to lead the way, but again, look at that run we can build on the higher lane. Couldn't quite get alongside Busch, but then he went up to the top in 3 and 4, and I say thank you very much. I just drive down to the bottom, and we pass him, and we have re-entered the top 20. So definitely seems like things are starting to improve here in stage 2 after the slight wedge adjustment that we made. And I was feeling pretty good at this point now. As I mean, when I say that, I'm like, we're probably on a good end. We might be able to finish like 15th or 16th here today. We just don't have a top 10 car, and that's something we're going to have to continue to work on as the season progresses. And, my one concern is if we are fighting for a championship with this all-new chase format, if it's close going into the finale, which is right here in Phoenix, it's going to be a difficult championship to win. But nonetheless, to lap 8, and we're still battling with McDowell and the 2 of Cindric. We do need to make a pit stop here. We cannot make it to the end of the stage without pitting. So looking in the mirror, though, here comes Keselowski. He went all the way to the back with a repair after that crash, and here he is in stage 2, working his way back forward. That number 6, there's some speed right there from Brad Keselowski as we continue down this back straightaway in towards turn number 3. Ryan Blaney continues to lead, and look at that Consumer Cellular number 6 Ford Mustang continuing to rally their way back forward now as we'll get alongside McDowell, and again kind of flatlining here around 20th place or so. I mean, we could maybe use some strategy here with this green flag pit stop that's on the way, and as well that's going to be maybe an opportunity in stage 3. So we're going to have some options here, I think, with strategy to, oh my goodness, big save right there. I nearly lost it, but I think, like I was saying, we're going to have some options here with strategy to maybe gain some track position, and specifically, when I say that, I'm talking an undercut, as we're down to 30% on the right front now as we cross down onto the apron, and we're halfway through stage 2, and now starting to really run up the racetrack once again here in turns 1 and 2, trying to get right to the back of that 71 of Michael McDowell as we approach the final half of this second stage. Now we got a crash into turn 3. That's, I believe, Ty Gibbs. Yes, it is. Caution is out again, and now that completely wipes out a pit stop under green. Under yellow, we'll pit. We'll get 4 tires. Feel. I was contemplating another adjustment on wedge, and I went up half a round because you saw that big moment where I got really sideways, and I did not want to deal with that again. Now to 20th here as we gain 1 spot in the pits. Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, and Chase Elliott, your current top 5. As we return to the action, it's a little over 10 laps to go here in stage 2, and we know we can get after it here. The restarts here today are really the big moments of gaining for us here, just like real life. Although the restarts in the game look completely different than they do in real life at Phoenix. I really wish, I don't think it will ever happen, but if they could manage to get the AI to all cut the dog leg on the restarts without like completely dying, I think that would be really, really cool as we split through the middle between Cindric and Nemechek. We passed the 2, but didn't quite pass the 42. He would get back further ahead as we got into the right rear there of Ryan Preece now, and it is crucial for us to get to the outside of somebody. It feels like in 1 and 2. Now in 3 and 4, I feel like I can be anywhere. I can be in the second lane. I can be where the 60 is, right against the yellow line. I'm just going to move forward regardless of what happens in 3 and 4, but we're going to continue to scrap things out with Preece, and we would both be all over the back of Nemechek and McDowell here, but Nemechek really checked up there, and that slowed me down, so I had to back up now, and that's going to allow that 42 to stay ahead and the 34 to get alongside me as well into turn number 1. Austin Dillon as well into the conversation as we're going to continue to fight here on the exit of turn 2. We might be 3 wide, not quite. We stayed 2 wide and re-clear the 34 as we pull back alongside the 42, coming to the start finish now. Less than 10 laps to go here in stage 2, and just like the beginning of the stage, we're just fighting for about 20th now. That seems to be kind of where we're at this weekend, and at this point I don't think we can really make this car better than what we currently have. So actually a bit of contact there with the 42, just kind of came up the track into me, but all is good there. Didn't really turn into anything now as we continue to rip around the second lane. But definitely, yeah, I don't think we can make any improvements further on this number 15, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. And in the closing laps here, we are gaining some ground. We passed the 42, we passed the 71 now with 5 laps to go here in stage 2, so maybe, just maybe, as this run goes longer, we'll get somewhere. But look at this, the likes of Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace both have fallen back quite a bit here in stage 2. So as we come through to the final lap of stage 2, we're right on the back of the HendrickCars.com Chevrolet of Kyle Larson. I don't think I'm going to be able to pass him unless he makes a mistake into turn 3 and 4. It goes really wide. But Ryan Blaney, the topic is him. I mean, pure dominance here so far, has led every single lap. And through 3 and off turn 4, Ryan Blaney, he's going to take the second stage here, sweeps the first 2 stages. We wait for 10th place to cross the line. Meanwhile, Larson gets Bowman at the line, as we'll end up 18th here in the second stage. So, like I said, I don't think we can really improve the car. So what I'm hoping now is we'll come in, we'll get the tires, we'll get the fuel. My hope is quite simple. I'm hoping we get green flag pit stops here in stage 3, because if we do, I'm going to try the short pit as we lose a spot in the pits, which I'm okay with, puts us on the inside, but I'm going to try and short pit, and if we get the opportunity to try and gain some track position and then just try to hang on in the final part of this race. So as we return to the racing action here, stage 3 underway, and it's a little over 30 laps to go, 32 laps, so one more lap than we had in stage 2. And now as we head down into turn 1 there, clear of the 42 and the 2, Allmendinger though still on my right side. I slide across his nose, I kind of forced that one there. I don't think I was really clear, I just kind of went for it, and thank goodness he backed out. Ryan Blaney, the story has been him, pure dominance from the number 12. Now as we pull alongside McDowell, I can see Christopher Bell up there on P2. Bell with a win last episode at Coda. Now Shane Van Gisbergen wasn't quite able to get the win, and still confused how SVG dropped down to 3rd, because he was dominating that race, and somehow he just dropped to 3rd through the pit cycle that went green. And come lap 50, you saw Kyle Larson there briefly in front of me. He is now dropped back to me, but you can tell there's just enough speed in that HendrickCars Chevrolet to keep himself in front. As we continue on now, and I am just ripping this 3rd lane, man, in 1 and 2, and it's a lot of fun doing it. But we had dropped to 20th now, and you know, at this point, knowing a pit stop's on the way, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I am driving as hard as I possibly can, but like I said, I know that there's a pit stop coming, and that's just like, just hang on, get to that opportunity, and we'll be able to kind of hopefully get something better out of this now, because it's just been a 20th place day. If we finish 20th, we finish exactly where we belong. But I tell you this, you're not going to win a championship usually if you're running 20th. Well, how you are going to win a championship is if you're a 20th place car on one day and you turn it into a top 15. That's our goal. Try and turn this into a top 15. To the inside of Ryan Preece now. Through 3 and off turn 4. Not quite clear. Got to leave room for the number 60 Kroger Ford Mustang. 20 laps to go here from Phoenix. And now clear of Preece on the run into turn 1. So there's a spot gained into 19th place. Blaney still leads now. 7 laps of fuel at this point. And I said, I think now is the time. Come lap 62, I think it's time to pit. We had been stuck behind Larson and just in front of Preece for a while now. And the crew chief makes a call to come in, so immediately I'm like, okay, let's do it. We're going to take 1 can of fuel, and we're going to take 4 tires. So here coming to lap 63, we're going to get off the track. We're going to be the first one to pit, and everyone's going to follow us over the next 4 or 5 plus laps. But we are hoping to gain enough time here in these next 4 to 5 to 6 laps before they pit to where we have gained several positions and have enough of a gap to hopefully just play defense to the end of this race. If we finish better than 19th, then it was a success. I mean, we were 19th when we were coming to the pits right there, so we lose 1 lap. So now, of course, the hope is no cautions and just rip. We are going to go as fast as possible here for the final 15 laps of this race. There is no more conservation. It is just full beans. At lap 67, a little bit earlier than I anticipated, we start to see some drivers come into the pits, but that still doesn't matter. We have been gaining time on everybody that's just now pitting, and we still got a lot of drivers staying out further. Blaney now comes in on lap 69, so, I mean, they stayed out quite a ways. And look at this, we're passing Chase Briscoe. That tells you we are going to be quite a ways up the order here when we're passing the 19. He's been hovering around the top 10 all race long. We might even be in the mix for a top 10 result here, depending on how everything plays out over these next few laps. And as we come through, look into the inside, there's Kyle Busch. will pass him just barely into turn 1. And now less than 10 laps to go from Phoenix. Tyler Reddick now pits. I'm actually going to catch the wall. Doesn't hurt our momentum, but here comes Brad Keselowski running me down. William Byron now comes into the pits from the lead as Keselowski, I don't think I can hold him back. He's on fresher tires and he's just downright faster. He's going to go through now, but where are we going to settle out? After all was said and done, we would settle out in 15th place, just in front of Chase Briscoe with 5 laps, coming to 4 laps to go, and Ryan Blaney, who's dominated today, is no longer leading as we clear Keselowski. Austin Dillon we're running down. I think the 3 is on 2 tires because he is struggling for pace now as we head down into turn 1 with 4 to go. Keselowski now to the outside. This is not where I want to be, and here comes Chase Briscoe as well behind us now. Coming to 3 to go for Christopher Bell. Is he going to go back-to-back from Coda to Phoenix? It looks like it, as now Briscoe to the inside is going to pass us as well, and he would get not only past me, but by Keselowski and Austin Dillon. How about that? Into 13th place goes Chase Briscoe, as it's now 2 laps to go for Christopher Bell. Straight through to 1 lap later, white flag in the air for the number 20. Blaney's going to throw as we get alongside Austin Dillon. We've been able to hold on to about 15th or 16th, and it's going to be a net gain for us here, and that, like I said, that's how you're going to win a championship, is you take a 20th place day and you turn it into a top 15. We haven't quite done it yet, but we're alongside this 3 through 1 and 2. Off turn 4, Christopher Bell goes back-to-back, wins in Phoenix, as we're just not quite going to get the 3 unless he goes wide in turn 3 and 4. He leaves the door open. It's close. We're going to get to the back of him. We're not going to quite get there. It's going to be a 16th place finish here from Phoenix, and overall, I'll take it, because that was just a 20th place day that we cranked up and turned into a top near 15, but end up 16th. Hocevar in the top 10, Barry in the top 10 as well. Kyle Larson down in 22nd, not the day he was looking for, as you see the rest of your finishing order. And overall, just a solid points day, outside of the fact that unfortunately we did not, of course, get any stage points. That's kind of been our Achilles heel here so far in these last 3 races, from Atlanta, Dakota to Phoenix, is we just haven't picked up the stage points. So that's something obviously we need to work on now, as that is going to do it for me. This chase format, it continues to deliver, and it's going to get exciting to watch as the season progresses. I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.
I'm stuck in my head, need an exit.